I'm Senator Loren Legarda of the Philippines. I chair the Committees on Climate Change, Environment and Natural Resources, and the Committee on Cultural Communities. I work with the United Nations ISDR as their Asia-Pacific champion on climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction, or DRR. Why do I care? I care because I come from a vulnerable nation of 100 million people, where we are a non-emitter. In fact, just 0.3% of greenhouse gas emissions in the world. Yet, we are one of the most vulnerable nations in the world. Remember Typhoon Haiyan in 2013. Its negative effects are still felt in my country today. We are an archipelago of 7,100 islands. We have a rural population of farmers and fisher folks. In extreme weather events and the onset of natural hazards brought about by climate change, it is the women and the children, the indigenous peoples, those who live in the mountains and by the sea, in the vulnerable regions of the world, including the Philippines. We are the most affected. But why is it that we are a non-emitter and yet we bear the brunt of the onslaught of extreme weather events, of more intense, more frequent, stronger typhoons, floods? We have both floods and we have droughts. We have the poorest of the poor, the most vulnerable communities who have nothing to do with the causes of climate change, and yet they feel the difficulties of the absence of potable water, of the absence of the need for electricity and lights, of the absence of good air quality. We have the right to life, the right to potable water, the right to clean air, the right to a sustainable and healthy and resilient environment. For all those reasons and many, many more, I care. Why do I care? I care because the Philippines is one of the richest and mega diverse countries in the world. We are wealthy in terms of natural resources. And yet, because of extreme weather events, because of the culture of consumption and greed, and because of how we live, we are affected by the negative effects of climate change. And so it is inaction and apathy that will spell the difference between today and tomorrow. There is no human being on this planet who should not care, because the consequences of inaction, the consequences of the status quo, the consequences of business as usual in our daily lives would mean catastrophe. We are feeling it, not just in the Philippines, but also in other parts of Asia, in Africa, in many parts of the world, and even here in Europe. Why do I care? I care because I am a woman. I care because I was elected by my people as a lawmaker. I care because I'm a human being in this planet of finite resources with a growing population. I care because it is the right thing to do.